press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello dear students, we have been discussing about the chapter Changes Around Us, in which we have studied in detail about the different types of changes. Some of the changes which occur in the nature are desirable one and some changes are undesirable one. Those changes which we want them to happen or which are useful to us, we call it as a desirable change, and those changes which are harmful to us and we do not want them to happen or that takes place, and such changes are called as undesirable change. See, there are lot of different types of changes will be there, and in today's class we will learn about the physical change as well as the chemical change. See, before going to the physical and the chemical change, let us review the preceding section points. See, reversible change are those changes which can be reversed and it is a temporary change, and the example for those reversible change is the balloon, as well as the balloon is example of a reversible change, where if we fill up the air into the balloon will become the inflated. If we release the air from the balloon, it will come back to the original position or the original size. See, this is one of the example of a reversible change, whereas the irreversible change are those changes which can't be reversed, and these changes are permanent in nature. Burning of the paper is one of the irreversible change. See, as I told you, reversible change we can get back to the original paper or original position, original size, it will come back to the substance, where irreversible change we can't be reversed. Such changes are called irreversible changes. See, I will show you one toy aeroplane here. See, this is the toy aeroplane. We can cut this toy aeroplane on its outline so that we can easily cut it. Afterwards, again from the cutted aeroplane we can't make into the original paper so as it before. See, this is one of the example of a irreversible change. See, in today's class we will learn about some more changes which are reversible in nature and some of them are irreversible in nature. See, one by one I will write on the board. Classifying the changes on the basis of reversible as well as the irreversible change. Changes I will write on the board. You have to observe which one is a reversible and which one is a irreversible change. See, first one is the rotation of fan. You just think it, which one is a reversible and which one is a irreversible change. And the second one is cutting of paper. Third one is the dry cloths to wet. Fourth one is the falling of rain. See, you have to find out which one is a reversible and which one is a irreversible change. Germination of seed, pulling of rubber band, breaking of glass, curdling of milk, cooking of food, and also growth of a child into adult. This one is a irreversible change. See, rotation of a fan, so we can control it by switch of the fan. So it is a reversible change. And the next one is the cutting of the paper. See, cutting of the paper, we can easily cut it, and after the cut it is a irreversible process. The cutting of the paper is a irreversible one. After the paper is cut, we can't make the original paper back. So this is one of the example of a irreversible change. And dry cloths to become the wet. From this dry cloth, we can easily make into the wet by pouring the water into the cloth, and thereby wet cloths, if we hang into the wire under the sun, again we can convert it into the dry cloth. See, this one is a reversible change. I will write here R. R means reversible change. And falling of the rain, it is a natural phenomenon where we can't make the rain back into the sky. So this is one of the irreversible change. IR means irreversible change. And next one is the germination of seed. Germination of seed is the irreversible change. After germination, the plants will be produced from the seed, and from this plant we can't make into the seed. See, this is one of the example of a irreversible change. Pulling of the rubber band. As I showed you, if we pull the rubber band, it will stretch it, and if we remove our hand by stretching it, it comes back to the original position or original size. This is one of the reversible change. I will write here R. And next one is the breaking of glass. See, breaking of glass is one of the See, germination of seed is a irreversible change, IR, whereas pulling of a rubber band is a reversible change. It goes back to the original position or original size. So, it is a reversible change. And the seventh one is the breaking of the glass. It is one of the irreversible change where we can't go back to the original glass. And the curdling of the milk, it is one of the irreversible change, where after milk will set into the curd, we can't go back to the original milk or original appearance. So, this is one of the example of a irreversible change. Cooking of food is also a irreversible change. See, where we don't go back to the original rice. From this activity, it clearly tells about the reversible change as well as the irreversible change. One by one I will tell you. See, these are the changes what I have written, and here in the second column reversible and the irreversible change I have written. Rotation of the fan is the reversible change, and the cutting of the paper is a irreversible change. After cutting the paper, we can't go back to the original paper. So, this is one of the irreversible change. And the dry cloths to become the wet and wet cloths to become the dry, we can easily make into it. It is a reversible one. And the falling of the rain is a irreversible one. Next, the germination of seed is also a irreversible change. IR means irreversible change. And the pulling of the rubber band is a reversible change, where if we remove stretching to the rubber band, it will come back to the original size and original position, and this is the example of a reversible change. And the breaking of glass is also a irreversible change. Curdling of the milk and the cooking of the food, where while cooking the food there is a chemical reaction will be takes place, and so there is a changes will be occur, and that changes we call it as a irreversible change. See, these are all the examples for the reversible change as well as the irreversible change. Some of the changes which are reversed and can be come back to the original position or original size, and some changes which can't be go back to the original position or original place, and such changes are called as irreversible change. Reversible changes are the temporary changes, and whereas irreversible changes are the permanent changes. See, these are few examples of a changes which we seen in our day to day life. See, next we shall move on to the physical change as well as the chemical changes. Physical changes and chemical changes. See, physical change. it changes in which no new substance formed and properties of a substance not change are called as physical change. See, physical change is nothing but those changes in which no new substance will be formed and properties of a substance will not change, and this is one of the example of a physical change. See, this is the definition of a physical change. Example of the physical change is the, see, consider salt in water. This is one of the example of a physical change. See, consider here is a beaker in which water we have to add and a small amount of salt we have to put into the water. After that stirring well, the salt will disappear in the water, and if we heat the content, if we heat the content until the water gets evaporated, leaving behind the salt. See, this is one of the physical change where no new substance will be formed. See, as I told, salt is present in the water, so it remains as a water, and the water after evaporating the water, salt will be obtained, and this is one of the example of a physical change. And from water we can also get it from the condensation process where gas is converted into liquid. See, thereby we can get water as well as the salt. This is one of the example of a physical change. And the next one is the chemical change. Chemical changes is just a reverse to that of a physical change. In chemical changes, new substance is formed and the new properties will be formed here, and such changes are called as chemical changes. Chemical change, changes in which chemical properties of a substance, it changes in which chemical properties chemical properties of a substance change and new substance is formed. See, this is the example of a chemical change. This is the definition of a chemical change. See, chemical change are those changes in which chemical properties of a substance change and the new substance is formed. In other definition is there, also one more definition is there. Chemical change are those changes where new properties with the new substance is obtained is called as chemical change. Example for the chemical change are cooking of food. See, this is the example of a chemical change. See, on cooking the food items, the food will undergo a change, and that change we call it as a chemical change. See, as I told you, changes in which chemical properties will be changed. See here, example as I told you, cooking of the food is one of the example of a chemical change, where the food items will undergo a change. That one we call it as a chemical change. See, properties will be changed means here size, shape and the color, appearance will be difference, and properties will be changed. Properties is nothing but the size of a size, appearance, color, etc. will be changed. And see, this is one of the example of a chemical change. And one more example is the burning of the paper. See, burning of paper is one of the example of a chemical change where the ash is obtained after burning the paper. If you light up the paper, it will start burning, and later ash is obtained. From this ash, there is a chemical process will be going on, and so that the ash is obtained. This ash is differ from the original paper. See, the texture also, the color, the size of the paper will be changed here. And see, burning of the paper is one of the example of a chemical change. See, cooking of the food, where food undergoes a chemical change, there is some reaction will be takes place, and that reaction or that changes are called as chemical change. Where food when undergoes a chemical change, the properties will be changed, nothing but the size, appearance and the color will be changed. See, these are few examples of a chemical change, where chemical properties will be changed and new substance is obtained. In the form of the cooked food, we get the meal, whereas in burning of the paper, we obtain the ash. See, new substance is obtained and the properties will also change. See, this is how chemical change can be distinguished from the physical change. See, one table is given for you to understand the differences between the chemical change as well as the physical change. Physical change can be distinguished from chemical change by the following points. In the first point, no new substance will be formed here. Next one is the properties of a substance remains same. The properties of a substance remains same here, and it is mostly reversible. See, the chemical change is exactly opposite points will be there. Here new substance will be formed, and properties of a substance change. And it is mostly irreversible one. So this is how physical change can be distinguished from chemical change by the following points. See here, in the physical change no new substance will be formed and the properties remain the same, and the next one is it is mostly of a reversible change, whereas in the second case, that is the chemical change, here new substance is formed and properties will be changed, and this is the in chemical change it is mostly of the irreversible change. See, this is how physical properties can be distinguished from chemical properties by the following points. And then next, there are some changes which are physical but are irreversible one. I will erase the board here. Changes which are physical but are irreversible one. See, there are some changes which are physical but are irreversible one. For example, tearing of the paper, tearing of paper, and next one is the breaking of the glass, and next one is the plucking of the leaves. See, these are some changes. See, some changes which are physical but are irreversible in nature. See, these changes which are physical, these changes are physical and it is irreversible. We can't go back to the original size or original place. Such changes are called as a physical but irreversible one. Tearing of the paper is a physical change. We can easily tear it and here no new substance is formed, and this one is a irreversible change where we can't go back to the original paper. Breaking of the glass is one of the physical change and also it is irreversible one. Plucking of the leaves is one of the physical change and as well as the irreversible one. See, this is all about the different types of changes. See, let's wind up the class here. In tomorrow's class we will learn about the different changes or different effects of the changes on heating. Thank you.